nothing for man except what he has earned. The superior experience and knowledge will be made available to a man or woman in exact accordance with his worth, capacity, and earning of it. Hence, if a donkey sees a melon, he will eat its rind. Ants will eat whatever they can get hold of. Man will consume without knowing that he is consumed. Our objective is to achieve by the understanding of the origin, the knowledge which comes through experience. This is done, as with a journey, only with those who already know the way. The justice of this state is the greatest justice of all, because while this knowledge cannot be withheld from him who deserves it, it cannot be given to him who does not deserve it. It is the only substance with a discriminating faculty of its own inherent justice. Yusuf Hamadani.
Another way of doing things. There was once a king who was a terrible tyrant, and at last a deputation of his people went to a Sufi master, asking him to help them get rid of him. "Very well," said the Sufi, "but I can do nothing direct. I must take advantage of what is there already. Understanding the patterns of life and thought is the work of Sufis." Presently he presented himself before the king. "Great monarch," he said, "I insist that I be killed 3 paces in front of your throne 2 hours from now." The people who were present said to one another, "What a great man is our Sufi! Undoubtedly he seeks to become a martyr, so that when the king kills him, the people will rise in fury and dethrone the monster." But the king, for whom things were not so obvious, was nevertheless highly suspicious. "Take the man to the dungeons and put him on the rack until he admits why he really wants to be killed," he commanded. Half an hour later, the chief torturer appeared with his captive before the king and reported, "He says that it has been foretold that whoever dies on that spot at the time indicated will become the supreme human being of the age." The king himself stepped forward. "Slay me here, immediately," he commanded. And nobody, of course, dared to disobey his order.
Quiz. There was a great deal of restlessness in the country, and the king had sent a cultural delegation through the villages to reassure people. Everywhere they went, the people were most impressed, because between them they marshalled an immense collection of knowledge and expertise. One was an author, another was a priest, a third was a member of the royal household. There was a lawyer, a soldier and a merchant, and many others. At each place at which they stopped, they called a meeting in the nearest open space, and people assembled and asked them questions. When they arrived at Nasruddin's village, a large gathering headed by the mayor welcomed them. Questions were asked and answered, and everyone was to some degree influenced by the array and importance of the delegation. Nasruddin arrived late, but as a local celebrity he was pushed forward. "What are you doing here?" he asked. The chairman smiled compassionately. "We are a team of experts, here to answer all the questions that the people cannot answer for themselves. And who, pray, are you?" "Oh, me," said Nasruddin offhandedly. "You'd better have me here on the platform." He climbed up beside the dignitaries. "I am here, you see, to answer the questions which you don't know the answers to. Shall we start with some of the things which baffle you, learned gentlemen?"